Since the dawn of time, humankind has had some sort of odd obsession with scaring the crap out of one another. We see this most notably in the movie industry, however it's just as commonly seen in video games. Fans of the horror genre of gaming will reel off countless titles that left them weeping in dismay. Amnesia: The Dark Descent, Fear, Condemned, Slender, Scratches, Silent Hill, System Shock, and many more. But what actually makes these games remotely scary? If you think about it, Amnesia: The Dark Descent, considered to be the scariest video game ever, is a candle-lighting simulator in which you take a tour around an inconvenient mansion whilst being pursued by multiple feral nudists. I suppose the first thing to address is the inclusion of seclusion. In most horror games, the main character is an independent woman, their own man solo, if you will. The reason why this is a great tactic for scaring the crap out of people is because the majority of people fear isolation. And that's what most horror games cater to, the majority. This is because fear is entirely subjective. Not everyone fears the same things, so developers have to hone in on the things the majority of people fear. I, for one, didn't find Amnesia: The Dark Descent scary. However, I found Fear and Fear 2 terrifying due to the inclusion of creepy little girls. Not only did I get scared by Alma, but it reminded me of the girl from The Ring, who also scares the shit out of me. Which brings me swiftly on to my next point. Horror games, much like horror movies, rely highly on immersion in sounds to make the viewer or player question what's going on in the surrounding area. Scratches, for instance, employs the rather surprising sound of scratching to increase the blood pressure and heart rate of the player. When partnered with seclusion, the player turns into a wreck of a man, constantly questioning the motives of everything due to being paranoid as fuck. I don't trust you. Weakness plays a huge part of video game horror, especially when you're fully aware everything is going to brutally murder you and then teabag your corpse if you go anywhere near it. The sudden shock that you are squidgy as hell and everything else is incredibly deadly makes you scared to come into contact with any enemies. The new horror game on the block, Slender, is a prime example of this being done well. Not only do the slew of YouTube videos of people playing Slender not make you want to play it, but also the fact that Slenderman, voted worst stalker of 2012, will follow you in plain sight before inevitably murdering you in some sort of technology-distorting fueled rage. Sometimes you can seek solace in the sub-characters of horror games. Fear, for example, got me through my completely irrational fear of creepy little girls due to their inclusion of the most annoying and dick-headed character that I wanted to murder horribly, but was constantly prevented from doing despite him continuously being a complete and utter arse-hauling inconvenience to me. In which case, the best horror games tend to keep the amount of characters included to a minimum and the maximum horror spunking effect.